I was really curious about how the natural gas we use in every household is actually extracted, and how many more years we can rely on it. After watching, I realized I had oversimplified things. First of all, the formation of natural gas is actually just like oil. Both come from the remains of ancient plants and animals buried deep underground in low-oxygen environments, and formed over millions or even hundreds of millions of years under high temperature and pressure. To find these gas fields, geologists use methods like seismic wave surveys, geological analysis, and aerial photography to explore. They'll drive a vibration truck to the target area, then press a large hydraulic vibrating plate firmly against the ground, and continuously buzz out vibrations. The artificial seismic waves travel from the surface into the ground, and when they hit different rock layers, they bounce back. It's like giving Earth an ultrasound. Engineers analyze the waveforms to determine the underground structure and whether there's oil or gas. Once they confirm the gas field location and consider multiple factors, they can pick the drilling site and begin drilling. Drilling is done with a steel pipe column with a drill bit at the end, which rotates downward as it drills. At the same time, drilling fluid is injected. The drilling fluid serves to cool and lubricate the bit, carry away debris, and more importantly, balance the underground pressure to prevent blowouts. But the deeper you go, the higher the pressure. To be safe during drilling, steel casing is inserted into the well, and then cement is pushed into the casing using special plugs. The cement flows through openings at the bottom of the casing, filling the gap between the casing and the rock, securing the casing firmly in place. This not only ensures a sealed wellbore, but also prevents contamination of underground water sources. A deep well is usually 2,000 to 5,000 meters deep, and it takes several weeks to months to complete, with costs reaching tens of millions of dollars. Natural gas underground usually comes with its own pressure, so once the well is drilled, it comes rushing up on its own like a shaken soda. But that's just for conventional natural gas, which is usually trapped in porous rock formations that allow fluids and gases to flow freely, making extraction relatively simple. However, what's even more abundant is unconventional natural gas, which is stored in less permeable rock layers, like shale or coal seams. Natural gas is trapped in tiny pores and doesn't flow at all. Extracting this type of gas requires more complex technology, such as hydraulic fracturing, fracking. This method starts with drilling a vertical well. Once the drill reaches the target layer, a special motor is used to turn and drill horizontally, with the horizontal section possibly stretching several kilometers. The longer it is, the more gas sources it can reach. Then the drill assembly is removed. Steel casing is installed along the wellbore, and cement is poured in to strengthen it, just like before. Next, a device called a perforation gun is used to punch small holes into the casing, and a high-pressure pump injects fracking fluid into the well. With pressure reaching hundreds of atmospheres, the rock is fractured, forming tiny cracks. Fracking fluid is over 90% water, with the rest made up of sand and small amounts of chemical additives. The sand flows with the water into the cracks, and when the water is withdrawn, the sand stays behind to prop the cracks open, creating tiny gas pathways. At this point, gas can begin to flow out of the rock. When gas comes up, it first passes through a device called a wellhead, used to regulate pressure and prevent blowouts. But gas straight from underground isn't clean. It can contain water, hydrogen sulfide, sand, carbon dioxide, and other impurities. So, a primary separator is placed near the wellhead to roughly separate gas and water. Then it's sent to a processing plant for further purification. After a series of processes at the plant, the purified natural gas is fed into major pipelines, traveling thousands of kilometers to your city, and then goes through a regulator station to reduce pressure, before finally reaching your stovetop. If it's imported gas, it's first cooled to minus 162 degrees Celsius to become liquefied natural gas, LNG, shrinking in volume by 600 times, and shipped in specialized carriers to the port. There, it's regasified and connected into the city's pipeline network. Natural gas is a non-renewable resource. According to current proven reserves, we can use it for around 50 more years, unless new fields continue to be discovered. Lastly, a fun fact. The main component of natural gas is methane, which is colorless and odorless. But for safety, an odorant is added to city gas supplies. So the gas smell you recognize is actually a warning scent we've added.